No, it is not.
Sit outside the car.
We are live.
I call this meeting to order. For all those that care to, please stand for an opening prayer and pledge of allegiance. Let us pray. We come before you with grateful hearts, thankful for the opportunity to serve the people of Republic. We ask for your guidance and wisdom as we make decisions that affect our community. Grant us clarity, unity, and integrity in all that we do. Help us to lead with compassion, humility, and a spirit of cooperation. In your name we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to Republic. We will open up at this time citizens' participation. This is an opportunity for citizens to speak directly to council on matters that are not listed on tonight's agenda. So out of respect for everyone who is giving their time here this evening, we ask that you keep comments concise and focused and that we maintain our mutual respect. Please know that we may not have all answers immediately, but you are being heard and we will do our best to address your concerns. At this time, we are going to open citizens' participation. If you would like to speak to City Council, please come forward, state your name and address for the council. Seeing that there is none, I'm going to close citizens' participation. Moving on to the consent agenda, I welcome the council to ask any questions or comments about items number 1 through 3. Seeing that there is none, I need a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? Are there any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Board, Commission, and Committee schedule. We have a Board of Adjustment meeting on August the 7th, 2025. We have a Planning and Zoning meeting on August the 11th, 2025. City Council meeting on August the 26th, 2025, with a work session starting at 5 p.m. We have a City Council work session on September the 9th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Staff has requested that we move item number 7 up on our agenda tonight to allow Mr. Hollingworth to make it to another meeting this evening. And so at this time, we will go to item number 7, which is 25-R-30, a resolution of the City Council adopting the 2025 Greene County Multi-Jurisdictional Mitigation Plan. I need a motion and a second to take up resolution 25-R-30, please.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We've got Mr. Hollingworth here to give us an overview.
Good evening, and thank you again for allowing me to come early. Dwayne double booked me, but we're going to get through this. The mitigation plan is something we do every 5 years. This is my 4th one. There are certain projects that have been identified that still haven't been completed in the previous mitigation plans. They are moved forward and held. And what this really does, it notifies the federal government we're working on this portions of these stormwater projects, different things that engineering has identified. And if grants become available, it's one of those check boxes that needs to be checked. If we have a major disaster, we need to show that we have the things in place that we are doing mitigation, such as everything that Builds does with their maintaining their building codes, maintaining our review teams that we have, and working to keep the city moving forward without running into major hiccups with things that we didn't identify. So we started working on this in '24. The engineering department brought forth several things. I talked to IT and seen what we could do in cyber and what we needed on those kind of things. So some of these gaps have been identified. The main thing this is doing basically is saying we are working on these projects. And if any kind of grant funding comes available, it does, again, give us a step up saying we're in the system. In the first year I did this, we did it on our own as a city. It's expensive. And so what I have done, I have partnered with Greene County and get into the Greene County multi-jurisdictional mitigation plan, which is 768 pages. We only copied the pertinent stuff for what's being done here in Republic. So you did not bore you with 758 pages of what's going on across Greene County. That way they absorb all the cost of the printing and publishing and all the reporting to FEMA, which takes a lot of burden off our city and still gives us all the benefits of being a part of it. Is there any questions about it at this point?
Any questions from council?
Like I say, it's basically we're going to do some housekeeping by adopting it. It needs to be adopted by October, so we wanted to get it in early so I can get everything signed off with Greene County. And I really appreciate everything you've done accommodating me tonight. I will be giving a presentation on the history of the fire department to the Republic Historical Society at 6:30, so I'm hoping that'll be beneficial to show what the city's doing and how they've progressed as we have evolved.
Do we have any questions, additional questions from City Council? Mr. Hollingworth, thank you very much for coming here this evening. Best of luck at the Historical Society. I wish I could be at both places at once because that sounds very interesting, especially
I'm
about
hoping it will be.
the history of Republic's Fire Department. Yeah, what a great evening. But thank you very much for coming here this evening.
Thank you.
So as a resolution, we can call this immediately to a vote. All of those in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? Are there any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0-0. Moving on to old business and tabled items. Item number 4, I need a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill 25-24 by title only, please.
Motion. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Are there any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0-0. Laura will read the ordinance by title, please.
An ordinance of the City Council approving amendment of the zoning classification of approximately 18.49 acres located at the 900 block of Colorado Avenue from Frisco Square Plan Development District, PDD, to amended Frisco Square Plan Development District, PDD 25001.
Thank you, Laura. Does City Council have any questions, comments, discussion before moving? Seeing that there is none, we will move on to final passage. I now need a motion and a second for final passage of Bill 25-24, please.
Motion. Second.
Got a motion and a second. We're now going to take a roll call vote on our computers. Motion carries 6-0-0. Item number 5, I need a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill 25-25 by title only, please.
Motion. Second.
I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? Are there any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0-0. Laura will read the ordinance by title, please.
An ordinance of the City Council amending Title I, Government Code, Chapter 130, Municipal Court, Article 131, Municipal Court General Provisions, Section 130.030, Selection of Judge, 130.040, Term of Office, and 130.050, Vacation of Office of the Municipal Code of the City of Republic, Missouri.
Thank you, Laura. Does council have any questions, comments? Seeing that there is none, we will move on to final passage. I now need a motion and a second for final passage of Bill 25-25, please.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We'll now take a vote on our computers. Motion carries 6-0-0. Moving on to new business and first reading of ordinances. I need a motion and a second for the first reading of Bill 25-26 by title only, please.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? Are there any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0-0. Laura will read the ordinance by title, please.
An ordinance of the City Council amending Title VI, Business and Occupation, Chapter 635, Marijuana Facilities and Medical Facilities, as defined in Missouri Constitution, Article 14, Sections 1 and 2, Section 635.080, Hours of Operation of the Municipal Code of the City of Republic, Missouri.
Thank you, Laura, and we've got Ms. Haynes here to give us an overview this evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Karen Haynes, Community Development Director. The city is requesting authorization to amend the hours of operation for marijuana facilities in the City of Republic. This would include dispensaries, comprehensive dispensary facilities, and then also micro business facilities. The extension of permitted operational hours aligns with the city's ordinance, with the state of Missouri's statutory regulations pertaining to sales or the retail sales of marijuana. We are asking for an extension from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., and we are recommending approval.
Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Do we have any questions from City Council?
Why change it from 8 to 10?
We did have a request from the community to look at the change and whether that aligned with state code. It does align with state code, and we are making the recommendation to make that change.
Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Do we have any additional questions from council? We do have one speaker here this evening that would like to speak in favor of this ordinance. So at this time, Mr. Alex Paulson, call you to the front, please. If you wouldn't mind, come to the speaker, state your name, address, and for the record.
Yeah. My name's Alex Paulson. I'm from Easy Mountain Dispensary over here on Farm Road 174, 7827 Farm Road 174. I really just wanted to put my name in the hat in case there were any questions. We're the only dispensary in town, the only licensed dispensary in town. And so if there were any questions on why we might want to extend our hours, I just wanted to be here and make myself available to anybody that might propose that question. I can tell you the number one thing that we see is we lose a lot of business for people who, especially at the Amazon factory, or Amazon factory warehouse, where they get off around, I think it's either 7 or 8. All those people are going to Springfield at the 2 locations that border Republic, and they're shopping there. So as we know, about a little over a year ago, we passed an ordinance here to collect tax revenue off of the marijuana sold here in Republic. So we feel like we could just generate some more revenue from Republic and serve the people who live in Republic without them having to drive to Springfield. So that's the long and short of it.
Thank you, Mr. Paulson.
Yep.
Does council have any questions for Mr. Paulson while he's here? Okay. Thank you very much for coming this evening.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions from City Council before moving on? Any questions for Karen Haynes? Any questions, comments, discussion? Okay. Sounds good. So remember, this is a first read, so make sure that you get with staff, make sure that you reach out to anyone that you need to for any clarification or any concerns or comments before the next meeting. Moving on to other business and resolutions. Item number 8, 25-R-31, a resolution of the City Council authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to finalize, secure a $1 million term facility with Arvest Bank to fund upgrades to J.R. Martin Park. I need a motion and a second to take up Resolution 25-R-31, please.
Motion.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second, and we've got Mr. Ford here this evening to give us an overview.
Good evening, Bob Ford, Chief Financial Officer. Let me see if I can get this. Here we go. Let me give a little background first. So in March of '23, the City of Republic issued $10 million in special obligation bonds known as the Series 23 bonds. Debt service for those bonds was to be funded from the quarter-cent Parks Capital Improvement Sales Tax, and the proceeds from those bonds were to fund the expansion of the Rush, $8 million, and an improvement in the J.R. Martin Park of about $2 million for the remaining part of that. And if there were any funds left over, some engineering and architectural work would have been done on the regional sports complex. To date, the expansion of the Rush, as you know, has been completed. And also, as part of this process, new tennis and pickleball courts in the Miller Park adjacent to the Rush have also been completed. Looking back at this, those courts were not technically to be funded with Series 23 debt. They were to be funded out of fiscal year 24 Parks operating earnings. However, kind of midway through the year, in anticipation of demolishing the existing tennis courts in J.R. Martin Park, as part of the J.R. Martin Park upgrade project, the Parks Department basically borrowed $708,000 from monies designated to fund the J.R. Martin project to fund the tennis court and pickleball construction at Miller Park, on anticipating that they would pay those funds back by the end of the year from operating earnings. We had a flat year with regards to sales tax revenue, some incremental expenses, and as a result, when we got to the end of the year, Parks was not able to repay all of those funds to the J.R. Martin bucket, if you will. So far, those two projects, both the tennis courts, pickleball courts, and the Rush, have consumed $8.7 million of the $10 million that we issued in the Series 23 debt. In the summer of 2024, Parks received the initial bids on the J.R. Martin upgrade project, but the bid responses were significantly greater than the $2 million of budgeted monies that we had set aside, and the project was shelved to do a reassessment and a redesign. So subsequently to that time, Parks has scaled back on the design, worked with the architects to try to build and create a J.R. Martin Park upgrade project closer to a $2 to $2.3 million budget. Additionally, we've simultaneously applied for a $500,000 grant, which would be used to fund part of the project, and we should know whether or not we're successful on that grant by the end of August. So a lot of data just to give you some background as to why we're coming tonight and asking for this up to $1 million additional funding requirement. Highlights of the redesigned J.R. Martin Park project: new pavilion for farmers market and community event opportunities. This is where the $500,000 grant would be applied if we receive it. Plaza area for enhanced experience for the park and event guests. Expanded parking capacity for guests and vendors, and a seamless connection within the park's trail and green space. So why now? Why are we asking for these funds at this point in time? Parks would like to reissue the bid documents for the redesigned and scaled back J.R. Martin Park upgrade project. However, we don't want to reissue those bid documents if we in fact can't fulfill on the project. So we don't want to put the bid documents out there and not have funding in place in the event that we get successful bid documents back. We pick a vendor. We want to make sure that we have funding in place to be able to fund that. We've gone to Arvis Bank, who has committed up to $1 million in a 5-year term facility. They priced it at prime less 100 basis points with a floor of 5%, a $500 origination fee with no prepayment penalty. Once again, in trying to get the Parks Department lined up to be able to get their bid documents out in the public environment, this is really a timing issue for us, which is why we're moving this so quickly. One, construction costs continue to escalate, so the sooner we can complete the project, the better. Parks' goal is to have the J.R. Martin project completed by May 1 of 2026, before the craziness of their summer begins. So in working backwards from that date with the architect, the project really needs to break ground no later than the middle of September, at the latest, the 1st of October of this year. So bid documents need to go out no later than this coming Monday, the 11th, so that we have 21 days for the bid documents to be posted on DemandStar, then a day to score the bids and select a contractor, and then 9 days to negotiate the contract, which is an aggressive timeline to get from where we are today to a negotiated contract. And then we're making an assumption that the day that the contract's signed, the contractor can start working on the project the next day. So this is a very tight timeline. Hindsight for us on this is that the Series 22 bond offering was effectively about $1 million short, if you really want to cut to the chase. Increased inflationary pressure, as we saw in the original bid responses on the J.R. Martin project, which is what's requiring us to redesign the project, and the need for additional funding outside of the operating earnings to be able to fund the courts on Miller Park. So the proposal and the request is to borrow up to $1 million. If we are successful on the $500,000 grant, we'll only borrow $500,000. On the assumption that the successful bids come back in the $2 to $2.3 million range for the total project. Today, we have $1.3 million currently set aside for the project. An additional $1 million will give us $2.3. Worst case scenario, we're going to borrow $1 million. I've laid out here the amortization schedule for both the Series 23 debt plus a proposed Arbus term facility, as well as the Series 17 debt that Parks was a party to, which was paid off this year. But if you add up all of the debt services across, you get to the total under the total column, and then you compare that to the quarter-cent Parks capital improvement sales tax number, you'll see that we have surplus cash from the quarter-cent capital improvement sales tax amount to be able to apply to fund all of the debt service and still have a residual left over. We could actually accelerate the payments on this Arbus debt, and as a result, we could actually be out of debt in 3 years. So just trying to give you a perspective on, once again, the quarter-cent Parks capital improvement sales tax can only be used for one thing. It can only be used for capital improvements or for debt service on debt that was used to do capital improvements. So this gives you an idea that we have a quarter-cent sales tax that's available to be used. It'll be sufficient to cover the debt service on the 23 debt plus the Arbus debt. Matter of fact, we'll have surplus to be able to apply to other parks capital projects and/or accelerate the payment on the pay down of the Arbus bank debt. So during the quarter-cent Parks capital improvement sales tax renewal discussions back in 2022, two of the projects identified included the pool expansion and the J.R. Martin Park upgrade project. With the approval of this additional funding for the J.R. Martin project, Parks will be able to complete that project and would have fulfilled its commitment on those two major community-focused projects. Staff is recommending approval.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Do we have any questions from City Council? Questions, comments?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Ford, two hypotheticals. What if it comes in over 2.3?
If it comes in over 2.3, then we're going to pray that we get the $500,000 grant.
And then what if the contractor can't start almost immediately?
Then we'll work with the contractor to get them started as soon as we can, which is one of the reasons we're rushing to get the bid documents out the door.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Mayor. So will the J.R. Martin Park still be the same as it was proposed in '22?
Similar, they've downsized some of the components, but in general, we're still building a pavilion. We're improving a lot of the facilities. Well, there will still be a farmer's park, all of the things that we talked about in '22. It's just scaled back a bit.
Thank you, Mr. Updike. Do we have any other questions from City Council? Mr. Gerke?
So now we're kind of in a time crunch, so if I understand it correctly, we have to have the funding in place to go get bids from the contractors to do the work, correct?
That is correct.
So with this, a lot of times we would, do a bid process or an RFP on the financing. So would we have the ability on this to have this in place to get that started and then in the interim do a bid process to make sure we're getting the best terms for the city on the financing?
We can definitely shop well, let me back up. The Arvis debt at least gives us the commitment. We know we've got the money. Then the next step would be to shop it amongst other banks in the community to understand, could you do a better deal, give us a better deal than we're getting from Arvis Bank? Yes, we can do that because, one, we would be at a $500 origination fee, but there is no prepayment penalty. So technically, we could sign the paperwork tomorrow, borrow the money tomorrow, start the project tomorrow, find a better deal a month from now, pay off Arvis Bank with XYZ Bank's money.
Yeah, I'd recommend that if we can do that, just again, to make sure we're getting the best pricing for the city. Other question was, and I think you answered this earlier, but it's based on a 5-year amortization. If we were to accelerate it or pay it off, does that payment adjust accordingly, or is it set throughout the life of it?
It would adjust accordingly. We'd pay down principal. So I ran a scenario where I just said, hey, we've got surplus monies from the quarter-cent sales tax of anywhere from $250,000 to $400,000 a year, depending on the year. So let's just assume we take $10,000 a month. We'll do $240,000 a year. If we did that, we would move from a 5-year amortization down to 36 months.
The payment would stay the same, but it would adjust to pay it off sooner. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gerke. Do we have any additional questions, comments, discussion from City Council? Seeing that there is none, as this is a resolution, we can call this immediately to a vote. All of those in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? Are there any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0-0. Moving on to reports from staff. Ms. Addington.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I have several things to talk about, and hopefully most of them are good. But it's hard to believe that summer is winding down. Schools will be open in a couple of weeks with the open houses starting next week already. Karen informed me today that Commercial Street is open, so that was accomplished before the school rush. I want to welcome Damon. So Damon Phillips, he joined us once before Megan was hired, and he has agreed to rejoin us. And Damon, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We have been emailing him left and right, and he is outstanding. So you're spoiling us, really, but we are very, very blessed to have you back with us. So thank you. Mud Run will take place on August 23rd. Volunteers are needed and appreciated. Want to give a quick update on the city administrator selection process. It is underway. We started that last week. A lot of people have asked me when are we going to have a new city administrator? When we find the right candidate. So we don't have a specific date in mind. ERP is on target. Sage Intact will be launching October, November of this year still, and we'll continue to keep you all posted, and it's also going to be on that project status report we talked about last time. Council workshop will be before the next meeting, August 26th meeting, and then as discussed earlier, a lunch workshop September 9th. Just keep in mind there's only one meeting in September, which will be the 17th. Budget season is underway, so that means we'll be picking out our Christmas tree before long. So we'll be bringing that in no time back here to council. welcome back, Laura. Laura was gone 2 weeks, and we always feel it when she's gone. So she came back to a little bit of chaos, but we're glad she's back. And the last thing I have to say is the longer I'm in this capacity, the more and more I am so thankful for this council and mayor. We have a special place here in Republic. We really, truly do. And we need to protect that. And I just want to thank you all for protecting that, for making tough decisions, for having difficult conversations, and by always doing the right thing at the right time for the right reason. So we are truly blessed, and I'm very appreciative of all of it. So with that, I will give it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Addington. Do we have any comments from city council, any reports from council? Seeing that there is none, I'd just like to echo a lot of what Lisa said. Welcome, Damon, of course, this evening. And also a special thanks to the Builds Department and Karen and everyone that's been doing an excellent job at keeping us informed here on council, whether it be through the recent newsletter that we've been given or even the updates that are given to us here recently before council meeting. That means a lot when we're out talking to the public, and so that's just another level of keeping us informed, and so I'm very thankful for that. One thing I would like to mention, the Roar Expo is coming up this Saturday, August 9th from 4 to 7 p.m. It's at the Republic Community Center. This is a great event that's put on every year by our Republic Chamber of Commerce and all the great businesses here in Republic, and all the people that make this place a wonderful place to live. There's going to be a lot of stuff there. It's a free event. I love seeing everyone down there. I know the public loves to see us down there. This year, they're going to have a dunk tank. Superintendent, and I hear the Republic mayor is going to be in the dunk tank. So if anyone is looking for an opportunity to dunk the mayor, this is it, Saturday.
Say Mayor Pro Tem or just?
Well, there's only 3 hours in the event, so. But we may have to do something in addition, or maybe another special dunk event, but, yeah. So anyone that can come out there, I'd love to see you out there. It's always a great time with the community, and just a wonderful time to meet the businesses and the people, and even those people from Republic that work here. So a lot of great people to meet at that event. August the 11th, talking about great people in Republic, is the ribbon cutting and open house for Republic's new intermediate school, 5 to 7 p.m. It's a great time to come out and celebrate one of the newest additions here to our Republic community. Thanks to everyone that came out and supported the Historical Society at their concert last week. That was a great event. It was a great time seeing everyone out there, all the smiling faces and all those great memories that were being created that night. So I'm really appreciative of the community, especially on that night. Lisa mentioned the Got Mud, and I know the Parks and Rec, between needing people to run that course and volunteers, there's a lot of great opportunities out there, and so that's coming up here on August 23rd, and that'll be here before we know it. So I'm not too excited about Christmas yet. I saw the Halloween decorations up already, so wasn't quite ready to jump to Christmas, but here we are. Yeah, it's getting close. So, yeah, another great opportunity. I did see a save the date for Republic Pumpkin Days coming up, and so that's coming up the 3rd and 4th of October, so make sure that you get that on calendars as well. Earlier today, I had a chance to stop by the Animal Control Center. I had some stuff to drop off. I had a chance to talk with staff over there, and they're still at not full capacity, but they're just about with dogs, cats, kittens. So anyone that you know that can adopt, donations, they have a wish list Wednesday that they promote every week. It's a great way to donate to that shelter for food for the dogs and for those essentials that the dogs, the cats, and they're really up against a big hill out there. It's a big challenge for them. So any help from us that they can get out there, I know they would appreciate that, and especially from the citizens. Those dogs love to see people, and sometimes we're the only reason they get to go outside. So I'd love to see other people out there too. So great time at the Animal Control Center. I would also like to thank everyone that's been working on this process, all the staff has been doing a wonderful job on helping us through this process, and it's not easy decisions, and so I appreciate everyone and the understanding from council as we go through this decision and the sunshine requirements and everything that we're bound by as well, and so there's a lot of working cogs to go into that, and so I appreciate everyone and having the patience to go through that process. I would also like to send a special thank you to our city council, much like Lisa said. This is the last couple of weeks, it's been a lot of time of reflection. And so reflecting back to my time as a council member here as mayor, I get it. This is a tough job. And so I'm very thankful for all of you. It was kind of a bad night with two being gone to say this, but we've been over a year and a half now, and I meant to look back and see how long it's been, but we've been consistently coming here for at least a year and a half with this group here. And so I'm very thankful for all of us being here and taking our time, I know it's a challenge, especially with our families and some of those missed opportunities. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for dedicating your time to the citizens of Republic and for helping all of us out to make these decisions. So it's a team effort, and so we couldn't do it without all of us here, and I really appreciate all of us. Tonight, we have an executive session, so I ask that we take a quick break, and then we will end up back up here for executive session. No further action other than announcing adjournment by the mayor shall take place after an executive session that is scheduled as the last matter on the agenda unless otherwise stated on the agenda or is allowed per RSMO 610.021. Tonight, we will be going into closed session under RSMO 610.021.1, pending and/or potential litigation, closed session, closed vote, closed record. I need a motion and a second to go into closed session.
Motion.
Second. We've got a motion and a second. We're now going to take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Gerke.
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell.
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson.
Aye.
Councilmember Neal.
Aye.
Councilmember Updike.
Aye.
Councilmember Fields.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0.